what about the metering aspect? I know that there's, I think, a 30 billion or 36 billion that was actually given for the provision of prepaid meters.
I don't know where from.
No, he's talking about something that has nothing to do with us.
No.
But that's part of the provision that, look,
which one now?
You have to meter, consumers, because the meter is actually the connection between the consumer and the discos. So if I'm not metered and you are just giving me bills, that makes the consumer mad.
True. Yes. Let me address that. You're absolutely correct. Now, you know, people have been talking about, was this privatization, shouldn't we tweak it and all that? One major area I think we should tweak is the requirement, for example, that CAPEX was allowed for each investor at $250 million over a 5-year period. That is all your capital investment. So over a 5 means you can't spend more than $50 million per year. If you want to spend more than $50 million per year, it will not be recognized in the tariffs. So it's almost as if there's no incentive for you to spend the money.
Yeah.
Now, when, as I told you, we took over, we now started to look at our metering requirements. Let me look at EcoDisco. For example, EcoDisco, to meter our franchise area, for example, we needed the entire $250 million. Now, it was not available, but even if it was available, and you faced send-down of metering, you will not do your feeders, you will not do your transformers, you will not do anything else. But more worse, they will not recognize $200 million of it in the tariff.
Okay.
So we need to tweak that area of the privatization. No, look, what I'm saying is that the privatization has brought up these issues. We should address them. Because once you address an issue, it gives investors confidence. What we're looking for is investor confidence, not blame game.
Okay.
It has happened. These issues have come up, so how do we deal with them?
Okay. Mr. Adonto,
yes.
What are you all doing about the huge amounts that you have mentioned that government agencies and ministries are owing?
Well, what we can only do is to continue to appeal to them to pay their bills. I was in the north a couple of weeks ago. A particular northern state where we know the governor to be very wasteful in doing something that are not a priority. This same government have not been paying their electricity bill. And when you raise the issue, they will begin to give you some kind of subtle threats. So we are operating in a system where I think they have mixed politics with power, with electricity. We should separate electricity from politics so that we look at the issue and the problem and see how best we can solve it. Have you ever wondered why up to this morning we do not have a chairman for NEC? Has anybody raised the question? Is it normal? Have you ever wondered why it took a government more than 18 months to constitute the board of such an important statutory body as NEC, the drivers of this process? Have you ever wondered why we continue to have a lot of regulatory inconsistency? And once you say it, the people there see you as an enemy. Have you ever wondered why we don't give priority to things that we should give priority to? So I'm still saying, all of these things that we're talking about is due down to Naira and Kobo. The government needs to decide whether they want to have electricity in this country or not. It's either all of us should come out and say the truth, or we cover our heads in shame and I'll go back to Abeokuta and sit down. Have you wondered why there are not many people are talking about investors and demonizing these Nigerian investors? Why is it that we don't have many foreign direct investment or foreign investors in the power sector today? I can tell you that there are 11 discos. Out of 11 discos, only one of them have foreign direct investment. Only one. Not only that, out of 11 discos, one of them is now in government hand, now being ably managed by the almighty Federal Minister of Power. Why can't the media now say, use that Yola disco as a template? If the investors are not good and the privatization is not a good thing for Nigeria, take their license now, give them their money. But before you do that, use the disco that is now in government hand to measure performance and see how they are doing. Ask questions. How come Yola is not performing in such a fantastic way? It is still down to that same Naira and Kobo. So we need to be realistic. And I'm still appealing that all of us need to work together. The blame game will not work for us. blaming Fashola is not a good thing. It's not even fair on the man. I think we should do what is best for the country. We should put Nigeria first. How many Nigerians are truly patriotic, especially people in government? We are deceiving ourselves.
Mr. Tommy, 1 second, please. I actually penned down something here. I did like a chart, and I'm not sure I'll be able to send it to the producers to put it up a slide. So we have the privatized sector of the power sector. We have works, we have housing. We have a deficit in housing, 70 million. We have roads across the country that are bad. So all of this are demanding attention. But we've all agreed here that the most important of the three is power. Because if there's power, they'll be able to run their bitumen plants and all of that. They'll be able to do their drawings and all of that for their housing and all. Okay, so let's stick with power, for instance. The board of NERC, you said, is not constituted. There's a TCN.
They have the body.
There's no chairman. There's a TCN, Transmission Company of Nigeria, that is, how do you say it now, working below par, as some people will say. There's also the bulk buyer that the discos are all owing. Then there's the discos who inherited in obsolete infrastructure, and they are trying to catch up. It's like sinking men who are gasping for air. And then there is the consumer. So
Jankos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Before the discos, okay. Before the TCS, there is the Gencos, who are also looking for how to catch up. Then there's the TCN, then there's the discos, and then there's the consumer. I have someone who tweeted who says, "I'm not even in the house for 3 months." I'm trying to get her name exactly. I'm not in the house for 3 months, and I come back to see a bill, same bill that was given to me last month that I was there, estimated billing. So he asked a question about the prepaid meters. I mean, metering, for instance. There are those who even get the meters, and they are not still paying their bills. What has it been like for you talking with these people, the ones that even have the meters to even pay their bills?
Well, the moment you are metered and it is prepaid, you are free. All you need is the moment you go and, vend and buy whatever, they give you some units, and until it finishes, you're fine. So I don't have any issues with, people who have been supplied with prepaid meters.
What about those who bypass the same prepaid meter you're talking about?
Bypassing is the disco's problem. You now have to ensure. I will not, want to monitor somebody who is, bypassing your meter, except you introduce whistleblower policy again here. So you haven't told the public, if you see somebody who is doing this, you get this. So in that way, we can always track whoever that. So you need to, do the needful and ensure that you catch these people who are bypassing. It's criminal.
Yes. Okay.
I do feel for you guys, because you don't have the money, and yet you are being cheated of the little money you're supposed to get, and you don't have the money to checkmate these people who are cheating you of your legitimate funds, which don't even cover your cost. I mean, the whole thing is just, you are suffering on all fronts.
We have to go. I understand we have to go. So your closing statement.
Well, I want to appeal to the federal government to please do something about the power sector before everything goes totally dark.
Belly up.
And put Nigeria first, please. There are many competent Nigerians everywhere.
All right.
It shouldn't take you so long to do a simple thing.
All right, sir.
Well, for me, get everybody metered. Thank God that the CAPME program is now back. Okay. So tell people, tell your consumers to ensure that they make use of the CAPME, which ensures that the consumer advances.
Thank you.
And it gets metered.
All Nigerians should be part of the power solution, from producers to consumers.
Thank you very much. We've been speaking with Sunday Oduton, Executive Director, Research and Advocacy, ANED, Pastor George Tommy, Power Sector Investor, and Adeolu Ogumbanjo, Consumer Rights Advocate. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We hope that things will move better in the power sector.